Hello, everyone, and thank you coming back for another Joe's Corner interviews. I guess it's an interview. It's more of a just sit down and talk. But I'm joined once again by the lovely people at Cinema Nippon. Say hello, guys.
Hello.
Hello.
For those who haven't seen the first interview thing we did, go check that out. But in case they don't want to, go ahead and just give a blurb about you guys. Tell the world about you.
Say who we are.
Yeah.
Do it, hurry fast.
Oh, it's me.
Yeah, do it.
Okay.
Do it, hurry.
So I'm Eli. This is Kylie, and
I made you do it so I didn't get it wrong.
oh my gosh. So we run actually we run two YouTube channels. One is Cinema Nippon, and one is Animal Fact Files. Cinema Nippon is all about Japanese film, and Animal Fact Files, it's all about animals.
What?
Yeah, so we analyze and review and now interview people about Japanese film.
Yeah, we're trying to branch out more with 2021.
Yes.
Just to diversify our content.
Yeah.
And I just watched it, honestly, because I came back from up in your neck of the woods, because that's where I found all my shelves. But I was listening on the way back, and you guys are doing, for your first shot, that was actually pretty good.
Oh, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so since we're talking about 2021, what are your plans? So, yeah, I know you just said you want to branch out and interview more people, but what other goals do you have for 2021?
As far as the channel goes, I think I don't know. I think that what we put up in January is pretty representative of what we want to do, because we're doing our regular like analysis type video, and we're doing new releases like unboxings and sort of more laid back reviews. We're starting to do profiles on individual people in the film industry, and then we're doing interviews with people who are in some capacity related to Japanese film, or at the very least like translation or something like that.
Something, like media in Japan.
Yeah.
Like kind of.
So I think as far as 2021 goes, this month has been kind of representative of what we want the rest of the year to be like. Kind of those four things all in conjunction, like one after the other.
Mm-hmm. And like hopefully maintaining a slightly more robust release schedule.
Yeah.
Like
the last 2 years, it's kind of like there's been a bunch all at once, and then it's kind of slow, and then
yeah, I can feel you on that.
Mm-hmm.
Because like right now, I'm supposed to record 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 7 videos I was supposed to be recording this weekend, and
oh my goodness,
bet this is the first one. So yeah, we'll work on that. But that's my thing. The tail end of 2020. As if you guys haven't heard, I just basically just took and focused on Twitch, try to relax because COVID, it's been crazy. So focus on Twitch, sit back, play video games, do what, build up the community, get to know people, get to talk with them, so on and so forth. And I do have to say, 2020 was a good year. I got to meet you guys, and I got to meet a lot of other people. So I mean, 2020 wasn't that bad, but I want to branch out. I want to meet more people. I want to do things with people, man. That's what I want to do. And like,
yeah, I've seen you've been streaming a lot on Twitch, haven't you?
Yeah, I've been trying to. Like I already said, tomorrow at 9 a.m. God bless my soul. I'm gonna be doing it again. But I like doing it, and then having conversation with people through the chat and just sitting there playing video games. It's fun. I enjoy it. So I mean. And if I get to make people laugh, that's my goal at the end of the day. So if you get a chuckle, I did my job.
Yeah, definitely.
I love that.
I've not been tuning in as frequently recently, just because things have been so hectic. But I do have to ask you, from what was it, a week or two ago, when I was listening and I was participating in your chat a little bit, what became of Despacito?
He is still alive. He is still going. Don't you worry. And let me just double check that game file, because I think I just used him last. Nothing happened to him.
I don't even remember what species is he.
That's why I'm double checking because I don't. I just throw him out and see what happens. That's what it's turned into.
He's doing a Nuzlocke, and he was asking for names, and he had just randomly gotten Alexa to start playing Despacito. And so he was like, "I need a name," and I was like, "Despacito."
You already know it. It's right there.
What Pokemon is it?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to make sure the audio doesn't blast our ears out. Do this. Let's see here. It doesn't want to do it. I'll just do it the old-fashioned way. But otherwise, goals for the year, I don't. My big thing is just I want to do more collabs, which I try, obviously.
Yeah.
But besides that, I don't know. You know, I just want to see what the year takes me. We're gonna go from there.
Yeah, I saw you just did that one. Well, I don't know when you recorded it, but you just did the one with N as well, right? The taste test.
Yeah, he flew on down here from Seattle, well, the Seattle area.
Oh wow.
Because we were supposed to go to a con. And a Despacito is a Chimecho. There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
And that is they are carrying me a little bit. Not gonna lie.
Oh yes.
So they're doing the job already. But like, yeah, he came down. We were supposed to go to a con and eat in Charlotte, but you know, COVID canceled it. But so we were like, screw it, come on down, take a break from work. And then I spent money like I was at a con. So you know, it felt like I was there with all my bank account suffering from it. But yeah, we did the taste test and thing, and that was last minute because me and him wanted to do like record in person. We wanted to stream, but we got stuck up in the Raleigh area for like a couple hours because we just shopping. We went to Durham, went and saw my friend, and we just did a bunch of stuff. And by the time we're like, well, I can't stream now. But like, it was a last minute thing. But I like doing stuff. Like if I can get people, because I want everyone to suffer. Because the durian fruit, is the most vile thing I've ever had. But I like giving it to people because they got to see it for themselves. But like
hard pass.
It was like dried durian fruit, right?
Yeah, it was like a rice roll kind of thing.
Okay, yeah.
Like
so you don't even get the experience of opening it and being able to smell it beforehand.
Well, I had a chance, but I'm in a rental and I don't want that smell to stay. So it's kind of like, Plus, what I wanted to do, there was a bunch of like other things. Like there were duck testicles was one of the things I was going to grab, and like a bunch of like weird oddities I could have grabbed, but I didn't have a cooler because this was last minute. So I didn't think, if I thought that far ahead, I could have gotten away with it. But there's I'll send you the thing later. I go to one in Cary.
Okay.
What is it? Today? I think it's Today's Asian Market or something. It's like a small.
Today Asia.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, that's the one I go to.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
Yeah, we're familiar.
Yeah, I would love to do more of that. That'd be fantastic. We just recorded a podcast with Boxu-chan. That was one we did Monday. I think we did that, and I'll be uploaded this upcoming Monday. We'll have a recording, but yeah, I mean I'm doing stuff, but like I want to do more, man.
Yeah, I get that. No, it's good.
I know. I totally get that, and it's like you have to like find this balance of creating and not like over exerting yourself so that you don't burn yourself out.
Because there's one guy I taught, Norm, Tokyo Lens. I don't know if you've heard of him.
Yeah, you've mentioned.
Yeah. So me and him are actually trying to do a podcast collab thing. We're trying to, but being 13 hours ahead of me kind of makes some stuff hard. Plus, trying to balance his stuff so he doesn't overdo himself, and it's it's a lot.
Actually, without really spoiling anything, we recorded another interview today, actually.
Oh.
And it was with somebody who lives in Japan. So we started it at 8 a.m. and for them it was 10 p.m. And by the time that we finished, it was 11 a.m. for us and 1 a.m. for them.
Yeah.
Oh, bless their soul.
So yeah. Luckily they're a night owl. So
yes.
they were like, I'm gonna go play video games before I go to bed. So.
And I was just like, I don't know how you do that. Okay.
That's amazing. I see. I want stuff like that, and like that's why I like talking to you guys because, well, honestly, like our time zone's the same, so we're not going to worry about trying to work around that. But I want to interview other like people, man. But it's kind of hard because there's a lot of people that are skeptical when I approach them because I approach them just like, hey, I'm this guy. I'm Joe Schmmo. I do this. I just want to interview people and get to know people, help people get out there, that kind of thing, so on and so forth. And I show them like your video or the APL Fisher video or like the Shotgun Shogun video I've done. But like, I get a lot of people are just like, yeah, okay, shh, and like throw it to the side. So like,
Really?
I don't know what it is, but 2020 was like that. I hope 2021 isn't going to be like that. Cause like,
no, you got this.
Yeah,
We believe in you.
we believe in you. You can do it.
well,
I don't. It's
appreciate
so
it.
weird that people would be that way.
Yeah, I know.
Especially you have the playlist of stuff that you've already done.
Yeah, like if you already have content, you like you have something to show. Like you're not just coming out of the blue.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I think it's because of numbers. A lot of people worry about numbers, and I can go on about this YouTube thing forever. I do a lot of research on it. It's interesting to me, but a lot of people focus on like numbers being a key role, not how good content is, not this, not that. They're like, "Oh, you only have this certain amount of subscribers. I ain't gonna talk to you. I ain't gonna do this. I ain't gonna do that." And it's just it fathoms like I can't fathom that like why people think that, especially because I forget who I was talking to. It was one I had to scrap because the audio was bad. But I was talking to this person, which it's kind of in the works, so I'm keeping it a secret. They were like, yeah, I really don't care about numbers. Yeah, I'm at this amount. Yeah, cool. But I look at to see if your content's good or not. If it's not good quality, not this, not that,
Yep.
So
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
that's kind of how I am. Like honestly, a lot of my like some of the people who I watch are like. Some of them don't even have 1K subs.
Yeah.
Like I just
Yeah.
there's something really like that draws me in about the passion that smaller creators have because without those numbers to drive you to do more, you really have to put yourself into it and put the work in. And like when you don't have the big audience to help bolster you to continue, you're on your own. Like
you're running on your own fumes essentially.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I have a lot of respect for small creators who just continue to produce well-made content even though their numbers aren't that big. And like there like some people I watch, I'm like, I don't even understand how you don't have bigger numbers.
Yeah.
My big thing is editing is what's holding me back. I'm not good at it. I know that, and I've said this multiple times. Editing is what's holding me back from like taking my stuff to the next level. And like I try to find tutorials, but no one does editing tutorials. I'm like, all right, I got this like Sony Vegas knockoff that's free. I got DaVinci Resolve. It's like one of the best free ones out there you can get. All right, cool. I messed around with it. I've done this. All right, cool. But I don't know how to put it all together. Someone teach me. Ain't no one out there making videos. Ain't no one like, it's just, all right, cool. How do I save time editing? This is not what I want. I want to make my work better, not like cut corners.
I totally get that because there will be certain things, especially when I'm learning new programs. Like I switched over in the past few months from Photoshop to Krita, and it's so different in certain ways that you get used to one program being a certain way, and then you have to relearn some of the most basic stuff that you didn't even like think about because it was second nature. And there are still times, even with the video editor that we use, where I'll just like not know how to do something, and I'll have to look for a very, very specific tutorial of how to do, one specific thing. And I totally get where you're coming from. It can be so frustrating.
And so, with like, I'll give a sneak peek. So what I got Boxer-chan's newest box. My buddy Nick made a bizarre box, and I don't know if you guys keep up with me talking to him or listen to me, any of me rant about him. But basically, his bizarre box is bad trash anime and 18 plus items. That's what it is. So like super bad, like obscure anime that gets like 2.0 on like my anime list and stuff like that. He throws into it's like a gift box, like a joke gift box.
Right.
So
right.
I'm gonna like review that. So what I want to do ideally is I have like the webcam looking at me, and then I want to have like a top-down view of me just opening it and doing that. Well, I gotta like figure that out, and then I gotta like try and make. Yeah, it's just like I have amazing ideas. I'm limited by equipment and money. That's all it is. But
yeah, that's funny that you mentioned that, because we actually just spent like 3 hours last night trying to record. Basically what you're talking about, like
very similar
us being on screen, but also having a camera set up that's recording like what we're opening, and basically recording 40 minutes and losing all of it. And it just, like that's so exhausting. Like,
I know how you feel
when that happens.
because what is it? The last otaku thrifting I did, it was going to be the revival of the series. Lost all of it because somehow on my phone, the video got corrupted. There was no audio. There was no and it like glitched out through half of it. I'm just like, you're supposed to be a brand new Samsung Galaxy S10. Like, why are you doing this? So
that's so painful.
So I lost. I was over like 4 hours of recording different things and stuff I can't just go back and repeat. So scrap the video. I know exactly how you feel. It's happened multiple times to me.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that technical difficulties are a real thing and cause those kinds of problems. I totally get it, and I empathize with that. How frustrating it is.
Yes.
And see, like, I've always been thinking, I'm like, I want to invest in a GoPro. Every time I go into Best Buy, I pass the GoPros, and they get like I think the newest one's like GoPro 7 something. I forget, and I look at it, I'm like, I really want that. The last gen's like $100, but I don't got it right now because I gotta go buy this and I gotta buy that.
Right.
I'll get it later on down the road. Then I never get to it, and then I'm like in a situation where like I wish I had this. Equipment like limitations suck, big time.
Yes. Yeah.
And I'm not going to be like, I'm going to take a loan out and I'm going to go, invest like all this money into it. And then, because I have like certain goals. So like if I hit 1K, I'm going to go buy me a GoPro set. Like I've set that for myself. If I hit 1K, like, Twitch followers or YouTube subscribers, whichever one, I'm going to get a GoPro. That's just how it is. And then I'll learn how to do it from there and go from there. But I think there's equipment I want you guys to look into, which I think it would help you with what you want to do. It's called Black Magic. Have you ever heard of their equipment?
I don't think so.
It's it might be. I haven't looked at the prices. I just know it's good equipment because Tokyo Lens and a couple other people that do like in-person vlogs and like go around and travel and stuff. That's like the go-to, and I know, like, and I've seen the quality, like, because it can record in 4K, it can do this, it can do that, and they're good at multi-cameras. They have a program that allows them to do like multiple cameras at one time, so you don't have to sit there and try and rig it. You can have it all through one like system.
Okay.
I see.
But that's my thing. But we're not here to talk about all this stuff. We just started rambling, and I'm okay with that. But we're here to talk about hidden gems. Now, this can be from like what I do, going out to thrift stores and go finding some random DVD or video games like I found today. Like I found 50 of them, but that's here nor there for a video at the end of the month. Or, recommendations that you don't really hear, but then you find out through like a random person on the side of the road, like, hey, go watch this, and then it turns out to be like one of the best things you've ever watched.
Yeah.
So, I know you've been, Eli, you've been going crazy a little bit here, try to do all this backlog stuff.
Yeah.
So, what have you found?
Okay, so I guess as like a preface, because the two shows that I finally got around to watching after like honestly probably more than a decade that I've been putting them off, um, are tangentially related to the series Serial Experiments Lane. Which have you ever
Ooh.
watched that?
No, but I've watched like video like analysis and some stuff on
Mhm.
them, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
I feel like Serial Experiments Lane is in and of itself a hidden gem.
Mm-hmm.
But like most people actually know about it.
Exactly. It's one of those things that like it if you ask people in like I think it came out in like 1998. So if you had asked people maybe like 15 years ago, its profile was probably much lower than it is now. But
Yeah.
now enough time has passed that more people are at least aware of it, even if they haven't watched it.
Mm-hmm.
So Lane, I've liked since I was a teenager, since I saw it the first time. But what I never got around to doing was watching any of the shows that multiple members of the same team worked on afterwards. Because there were 3 more shows that, like, in various configurations, those people worked on. And I only got to the first 2 of them, not the third one, because the third one is longer. But so the first one is called Nia Under 7. And let me tell you, I don't know why I put off watching this show for this long. But I wanted to bring it up because a few years ago, Funimation bought the rights, or licensed the rights at least, to Lane and the 2 other shows that this team had worked on, but not Nia Under 7. For some reason, that one has been, like, it was released on DVD back in the 2000s, and ever since then, it's just kind of been in, like, limbo in the English-speaking world, I guess. So, it's I guess basically you'd call it a slice of life anime that's about an Earth where, for an indeterminate amount of time, aliens have been living here to the point that it's not even a like phenomenon. Like nobody is phased by it. They're just kind of there. And so it's about a young woman who she's in school and she's working multiple jobs in order to afford her living expenses. Like one of her jobs is at a hot spring, and I think the other one is she's at a restaurant, and she has a like freeloader alien named Nia who's living in her closet, who was just already living in the closet when she moved into her apartment. And the whole show is basically, it's about their dynamic, and it's about the dynamic that happens with the other aliens that are living in their neighborhood. Because all the aliens basically look like humans. The only difference is that they all have like an antenna, like a single antenna sticking out of their head, but it's not like bug antennae. It's like literally like a television antenna sticking out of their
Like
head.
straight up in the air.
Yeah, and like some of them have a little bit of a curl on them or something. And they all look metallic. So
like robotic.
Yeah, exactly. So come to find out that what happened was Lane is it's a very dark, very like I guess cerebral, pretty abstract show about like the internet and technology, and that's a really reductive way of describing it. But the producer, I think it was, for Lane was like, "Hey everybody, we just made a really depressing show. Why don't we make a happy one instead?" So Nia Under 7 is the exact opposite. It is so much fun, while at the same time having, due to the content and the context of it, a lot to say about racism, actually.
Wow.
Because it's talking about how the aliens are treated by the humans, and how even within the aliens there is like a hierarchy of different aliens being considered different classes and things like that. So it's a really, really funny show that's got like a lot of heart in it, and then occasionally it gets really, really dark. But for the most part, it's a lot of fun.
Huh. I've
Well, I'm
never
here.
heard of that before.
Yeah, it's I remember reading about it way back, like in the early 2000s when I was a teenager, and I had just watched Lane, and I was like, oh, what's this other show that has an identical art style? Because the character designer is the same guy, and I for some reason I just never watched it, and then it like faded into obscurity, and thanks to this like prompt, I was able to finally watch it. It's pretty great though.
All right. Where now? I got a good question. Where did you find it to watch?
Uh, I had to
Procure it?
yeah, because it hasn't been re-released in like 15 years.
So you set the high seas, and then you found a place.
Something like that.
Hey man, you gotta do what you gotta do. I ain't judging.
Is it subbed or is it like is
Both.
It
was
is officially subbed.
it was released as a sub and a dub. Yeah,
So-
by Jenny on or however you pronounce their name. The company that Pioneer turned into.
Okay.
Oh, I should have known that's how it's spelled. All right, let's see if we can find it anywhere. Looking at
I mean, I'm pretty sure. I'm sure you'd be able to find it on eBay or on Amazon. Yeah.
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking now because I'm curious.
Man, that sounds good. I'm down for like some change of pace because like, all right. So like with this anime season, I'm watching 12, 13 shows because a lot of them are like continuations or something I've been reading. So there's like 3 that I've been looking forward to like the most. Cells at Work, Code Black. Which have you seen Cells at Work or heard of it?
Oh
Yes.
Yeah. So Code Black is the adult version of Cells at Work. So it's dealing with stress, smoking, alcoholism, all that stuff, plus more, like diabetes, just all that, and it's a very interesting way on how they go about it. Then another one is suppose a kid from the last Dungeon Boonies goes to a starter town. It's a comedy that every time I pick it up, I can't stop laughing. So that was a nice change of pace. And then what was the other one? I'm trying to think of another one. It's the Mugen Tenzin. It's like the godfather, like the creator of like what is known as isekai today.
Yeah.
It finally got an anime adaptation. So like, it's interesting, to say the least. But hidden, like I'm always looking for something that no one talks about, and that's like the perfect example because I'd never heard of that.
Yeah.
It looks like it's going on eBay for like $50 for the box set, or $40 including shipping. So it's not too bad.
It's not too bad. The thing is just
terrible.
making sure it's like a legit copy. That's the
Mhm.
Oh,
yeah.
wait a minute. I might have made a dumb, and if I made a dumb, can I request that you unincriminate me?
Yeah, that's not a problem. I don't want anyone against their will.
Okay, no, I just mean to say about the fucking sail in the seas and shit. Can you delete the evidence?
Oh yeah, I can. I'll cut me out saying that, and then we'll go.
No, you're fine. Because I had a brain fart, and no, this one, for one reason or another, it was not picked up by Funimation at the same time, but it has gotten a Blu-ray release from Discotek. But for some reason, when you search for it, the first thing that comes up are the DVDs from 2003 and 2004, and not the Blu-ray from I think 2018. Yeah. So it is there. It's just I totally had a brain fart because when I was first looking for it, all that anyone was talking about was how Funimation didn't license it.
Yeah, no. So like, okay, so me and it came out in this podcast that we recorded. So you're fine with saying the high seas, and I say this because not a lot of people can go out and buy it, and then especially if it's like obscure stuff, not a lot of streaming services are going to have it.
Yeah.
So once in a while, selling the high seas is what you got to do, especially if, and we talked about this, like broke weebs and like they got to do what they got to do, and when it comes to like bootleg stuff, such as like getting bootleg DVDs and so on and so forth. If you want it and you try to do it like the not real good way, I guess that's how you put it. It's fine in my. I look at it. It's fine in my eyes because everyone's got to start somewhere, and then I don't blame people who don't pay $7 to $10 a month per service. Because like right now, I'm paying for Funimation and Crunchyroll, so that's like $20 a month that I could be saving. But you know, to me, that's not like that much, but to someone else, that could be a lot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It totally depends.
So I mean, I can cut this out if you want, but honestly, I don't think it's incriminating if you had to go do that to be personally.
Yeah.
But
I think it's more that you just didn't realize that it is actually available.
Right.
and there's a lot of things
It's
that,
like I said, I just had a total brain fart about that part of it.
because like what is it? I watched the dot hack series for the longest time, and I didn't know they actually released DVDs because there was like, yeah, okay, there's this chat like the Chinese like they directly copied it and threw it onto like a DVD kind of thing. It's not legit, so I didn't buy that. And then Crunchyroll and Funimation didn't have it for the longest time, which I don't even think they still have them. So I went to like I forget what it was called. The go-to like pirate site that people go to. I went there to watch it. And then literally the next month I go to a flea market in Jersey and I find the whole box set. So like it's fine. Like it's just there are some things you don't know and then you find out later. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, but it's still the thing is it's a hidden gem. Not a lot of people know about it. And then they did like some obscure release like a couple years ago. Like re-release.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
In some cases, piracy is okay, folks. That's what I'm saying. In some cases, it's okay. But don't go selling the bootlegs in the corner. Then we got a problem.
Yeah, don't do that.
No.
And if you can afford, then you should.
I was gonna say always support when you can.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. Support when you can because it's like figures. You can of course you can go get this like $400 figure for $100, but it's not the real figure. So you're selling some guy who like put some clay together and like threw it in the box and made it hard, or you can like support like more of that stuff coming out by getting the real figure. And it's just if you can support official releases, support the official releases.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So
and that goes for that's like anime, manga, like
music,
anything,
anything,
anything, like because that's why the artists they deserve it. Like
yeah, of course.
I agree. So you said you had something else for me, sir? Because I know you said 2.
Yeah. Do you want me to go as well, or do you want to go around?
No, you go for it, man.
I mean, I don't really have much of any. Like
yes,
I can say, but it's probably like stuff people seen.
That's
I don't feel. I feel like when it comes to hidden gems, you totally have the legit hidden.
That's
gems.
fair. And okay, I will tell you just as a sneak peek. I'm not gonna reveal what it is. I can tell you what it is after we're done recording. But this whole prompt, this podcast, led me to rediscover something from my childhood that we may or may not be like several months down the road be doing a larger video about, because you gave me flashbacks. This prompt of hidden gems, and it made me realize nobody has talked about this one thing from my childhood in like decades.
I don't think I even know.
Oh no, you do.
Okay, you talked to me.
Yeah,
about
yeah.
It? Okay.
I'll tell you about it after we're done.
Obviously, has fallen outside of my ears. So,
so my other actual one is, which I'm trying to remember what year it's from. That's what I'm going for. It's another series that was done by mostly the same team. And it is called Haibane Renmei, or Haibane Renmei, if it's, and it's from, that's the later DVD release. I can't remember when the original DVD or when the original series came out. It was the early 2000s. Let's just put it that way.
Okay.
But it's mostly the same people working on it. So again, the art style is very similar because it's the same character designer, all that kind of good stuff. but this is another short one. Both of these are only 13 episodes. But Haibane Renmei is about it's about a young woman who wakes up in a cocoon, and when she comes out of the cocoon, she has angel wings, or well, she doesn't have them. She sprouts them, and it's horrible and traumatic. But basically, what's going on here is that she comes to live in this fantasy world where there's a group of people all living essentially in a group home who all have angel wings, and all of whom woke up from cocoons, and all of whom remember the dream that they had in the cocoon, but don't remember anything about their life before that, including their name or any of the people that they knew, anything like that. But they live in this I want to say it's almost like turn of the 20th century, like bordering on industrial revolution type world, where there are a ton of humans in this town that's down the road from their group home, and their whole thing is that the Haibane, the angel winged people, they have like a set of rules by which they're supposed to live. Like, they're supposed to help out the humans, and they sort of kind of get compensation for doing it. But there's this other group of these masked traders who help out with this wall that is bordering on the land that they're living in, and it's basically like nobody's allowed to go outside the wall, and nobody's even allowed to talk to these masked people, except there's one masked guy who's the interpreter, who can talk to the Haibane and can talk to the humans. And it's just, it sounds really, really scattershot when I describe it this way. But essentially, it's kind of like a slice of life thing again, sort of, but it's more so about the like emotional arc of this one young woman from the time that she wakes up to meeting all of the other Haibane that she lives with, to like interacting with the human village and trying to figure out what job she should take, and meeting the masked people and like learning about the wall that nobody is ever supposed to touch or go outside of. It's very, very mysterious. It almost feels like a fairy tale, sort of, except it has like a darker tone to it, because I don't know, it's very, I guess melancholy would be the best word for it.
So you know what you just reminded me of?
What's that?
Did you guys ever watch Promised Neverland?
It's on my list. I haven't watched it yet.
So
okay, no, I haven't either.
That's kind of like what's going on with them. So I'm not going to spoil it because it's on your list. So the big thing is there's these kids at this orphanage, and this orphanage is on a hill. Well, at everyone's 11th birthday, they get adopted, or they might get adopted beforehand, and they disappear. Well, there's actually this wall that's surrounding this, surrounding the orphanage, and they're not supposed to go near it or on top of it or anything like that, so on and so forth. And that's what it reminded me of. I don't want to spoil too much, because I mean, it's worth the watch, especially since the second season's coming out right now. It's really it's really worth the watch. But there's kind of a slice of life, tiny bit aspect, but it's more horror and like suspense, and that's what I feel like that. If I'm correct, that's what kind of like leaned towards at the end. If I had to take a guess, is that what?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was supposed to say, is that what happened with that show? Like at first it was happy go, and then like as it goes on, it gets a little bit creepier and creepier, and then like at the end, it's kind of like a little bit horror.
So this one's actually it's not, it doesn't really tend toward horror. It actually kind of starts melancholy, because she's waking up and she realizes that like she existed in some form beforehand, but she doesn't remember anything about it. So it starts kind of melancholy, and then throughout the series, when she's building relationships, it becomes less melancholy and more kind of upbeat. And then towards the end, it just gets kind of melancholy and sad again, and it never really tends towards horror though. Okay.
That's from the premise. That's what it reminded me of. I was just like, But there, the thing with Promised Neverland, I never saw anything like that before. And just like this show, I never heard of anything like that before. The only other thing I can think of with the wall is Attack on Titan, but we all know what's going on with that. So, I mean...
Yeah.
But that's... Ooh, that's... How'd you find that one? It's the same people, right?
That one, it was mostly the same team again, with some switch ups. And that one is actually streaming on Funimation. As is Zero Experiments Lane, and as is Technolaze, which is the 4th show, which I think that one, the staff is more in line with the original staff from Zero Experiments Lane. Like, there was less switching in that one. But that one I did not get around to watching. And that one is supposed to be, like, really bleak. Like, really, really, really dark. And I was like, I kind of like the happy sad ones right now.
Huh. Okay, I can dig that. Kylie, do you got anything, or?
I don't know. So my thing is like most of the anime I watch is like bordering on yaoi.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing
it's
wrong
like
with that.
it's like what is it? It's called boy love, is what. But like these usually like the category that it goes in. Like it's not like porn per se,
Right.
but it like borders on that. So like
It's like emotional porn.
it's like emotional porn, yeah, for sure.
Right.
And so I feel like I'm not really much of like a shonen kind of like even like action and stuff. Like I don't know, I that's just not where I am. So a lot of the stuff I watch is more fluffy and flowery and character driven as opposed to plot and action. So yeah, like I mean I could give you some, and I could be like, have you heard of this? Have you heard of this? Like, but most of them are like on Netflix and Hulu and stuff. So I would assume you've probably seen them.
Probably.
Yeah. I mean, like, probably one of the best ones I've watched recently was Erased.
Oh, so I have a story about Erased.
Okay.
So there was a lull in my life. So like I was really into anime. I was really, doing all this stuff after I graduated high school. So like my first year out of high school to like a couple months before I finished college, really, I really didn't watch anime. Like it was there, and like I watched. I think the only thing I did was watch One Piece, like just to keep up with it.
Fair.
So I didn't really, I was just like, yeah, it's whatever, So at my local card shop, they started doing anime night, and it was always on Sunday when we were playing Why Schwartz, which is the anime card game. Oddly enough, I played an anime card game, but I won't watch an anime. So all of a sudden, Erased came on. I literally stopped playing and it got super invested. And then we got to like episode 6. I just went home and finished the rest. And that like jumpstart me again. And it hasn't stopped. So I have to thank Erased for getting me that spark again. Because of how good it was.
It's so good. And like
I had never heard of it.
Neither.
Yeah.
And I have to say, like I'm the kind of person I really struggle with watching movies and watching shows because I don't know why I always know what everything is going to be. Like I call everything. Eli will be sitting next to me and I'll be like, all right, here's what's about to happen about 5 or 10 minutes into a movie. And like, I like not even trying to brag, 90% of the time I'm correct. And Erased was like, it sets you up to think you know what's going on, and then it totally turns it on its head. And I just wasn't expecting it. And I when something can do that to me, I really appreciate it.
So that was the same way with me. I was like, oh, this is going to do, this is going to, no, that's not what I was expecting. Okay. You know what? You got me invested, man. You got me invested. Oh, it was just so good. I want to pick it up on DVD, but it's so expensive. So expensive. Yeah. And same for the hard. So they have a manga for it, but it's only hardback, and so it's like $30 per volume.
Oh my goodness!
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot, and I like it's on my list to get, but I'm like waiting for like a sale or something because I think there's like 4 or 5 volumes.
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
goodness.
you would definitely want to buy that.
So that's
Get a coupon.
Get a coupon.
yeah, seriously, that's hefty. That's a hefty price tag.
Yeah, or maybe they could re-release it not in hardback.
Which, I mean, later on, if there's still a thing for it, they'll probably do. They'll probably do an all-in-one. Which, good lord, I'd hate to see how thick that is, but they'll do an all-in-one like they've done for, like, Trigun, or they've done for, like, Black Butler. Apparently there's, like, an all-in-one rumored to be out there. I've never seen it. They've done an all-in-one for Berserk. They've done, like, like, all these big ones, they've done all-in-ones. So, it's a possibility, but I'm not holding my breath. I'm a realist when it comes to this kind of stuff. It's kind of like, I gotta get it while I can, or just, never get it.
Yeah. I get that. I totally get that.
Is it available digitally? And well, and for that matter, how do you feel about digital manga?
I mean, one of my close coworkers, he does his stuff digitally. I mean, more power to you. My thing is, I prefer feeling the paper while reading.
Yeah,
that's my personal thing. But I find it amazing because for a while, I don't know if they still do it, Barnes and Nobles was really pushing for people to buy manga on the Nooks.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I haven't heard it in a while because they haven't really been pushing for Nooks in a long time. But I think there's still support for Nooks. I don't have one, so I don't know. But I know you could get it like on the Kindle, and I think you can still get a lot of stuff on Kindle, and then you could get a lot of manga on the Nook. So I mean, go more power to it. I mean, if you are a minimalist, it's perfect.
Yeah, definitely.
Or if you're a collector like me and then has this huge wall of manga that I'm building, you want the physical copies.
Definitely, yeah. I will say too, this is slightly off topic, but my with Nia Under 7, I found out like immediately after finishing it that the guy who did all the character design had written a 2-volume manga prior to the series, and it was based off of that, but it's never been translated. But this leads to my point, is that if you do use Kindle and you get yourself set up with an Amazon like COJP account, then reading manga digitally for the sake of language learning is super convenient.
Oh yeah.
Because as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, well, I mean, if I want to get it to try and practice reading, it's right there. I don't have to spend like $15 shipping or anything like that to try and get it from Japan.
So I do have since we're on this topic of digital manga, I just want this to be known, when it comes to like reading manga online and like going to websites where manga is free, I am perfectly okay with it, because 90% of what's on that website you can't get in physical form. Because I'm reading a couple right now that there's no physical like English copies. There are legit translated copies of it on the websites, but no physical. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
So you mean to say, like, unless you wanted a physical copy, or if you wanted a physical copy, it would have to be in Japanese.
Yes, exactly. What is it? I did a video on it a while ago, and I'm still reading it. I'm blanking on this. It's like Takamine-san. I forget what it is. Hold on. Wait, this is a blast. Nope. Okay. Where is my mangas? Where's my manga reviews? Hayate Kudasai Takamine-san. It's no physical copies whatsoever, but it's they're translating every chapter online.
I see.
So that's the only way I can get that. And there's like a bunch of other stuff. Like, I knew about Dr. Stone before it came out in manga form, like physical manga, then got an anime. Same for Mononoke Sharing. Same for Though You May Burn for... Like, a bunch of stuff I read. Like, I knew it existed before it was ever announced to have, like, a actual thing coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that is one side of, like, manga that I've noticed is that, a lot of it is non-translated.
Definitely.
And that was one of the reasons we started pursuing learning the language in general. So like, just to be able to consume the content in its native language and understand the nuance and understand, because I mean, this is kind of something we've been talking about with discussions of translation, is you can take a sentence and translate it 5 different ways.
Yep.
But they all mean something slightly different.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know if we've talked about this before. I know we've talked about it on our show before, so maybe you've heard it. But like one time we got a press. This was pre-COVID, but we got a press pass to go watch. What was it?
Oh, which one was that? Was that Ride Your Wave?
Yeah, Ride Your Wave.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, of course, it was in Japanese. It was subtitled, and we were in the audience, and there was this part where they said something, and it was translated totally different than the way we both obviously translated it in our heads, because we both burst out laughing, and no one else in the theater was laughing, and we were just like, oh, oops, that, like it just didn't. I don't know, like, so it's. I'm of the mindset that I want to learn the language so I can know the nuance and interpret for myself.
Yes.
And have my own reaction to everything.
Yes.
And see, that's why I'm trying to pursue the language. I did it. I was learning in high school, but you know, once you get out of high school, and no one else uses it, you kind of forget it.
Yeah.
And boyo, that set me back about 2 years. So I'm practically at like phase 0. With it, but my main driving force is that one of my top 5 animes of all time has no support over here besides the anime. So there's about 23, 24 light novels that never made it over here.
Oh, really? What series is it?
It's the one I recommended to you on Twitter, sir. Horizon in the Middle of Nowhere. Which is one of the ones I'm going to preach about in like a couple minutes.
After I finish... After I watch Technolays, which is that other show that I said I've been meaning to watch for 15 years, I'm going to start watching the stuff that everybody recommended on Twitter, because I realized, I was like, damn, I need to catch back up.
So, while we're talking, Ping Pong is like, it's just shown in slice of life, and the art style is going to throw you off, but it's really good. Don't let the art style distract you. It's really, really good.
That's the one that's by Masaki Yuasa, right?
Yes.
The guy who did like The Night is Short, Walk On Girl, and what else has he done? Lure Over the Wall and stuff like that. Okay, yeah.
Then with Horizon, which I guess I could just start going on my rant now. The thing with Horizon, and I tell people this when they pick it up and start watching, is you're going to be a little lost until episode 6. I believe it's episode 6. Where they explain, like, everything that's going on. The show was kind of made for, like, the light novel readers know what's going on, and that's, like, 90% of the audience. So we don't really got to explain anything until later on. And they take that approach, because it starts off with, like, the first episode shows off these characters. Like, these are my powers, this is what I do, this is my thing, blah, 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 blah. And then it introduces our main guy, Tori. And then that's the first episode. And then it starts, like, slowly building up, like, the background of, like, the ship they're on. Because they're on a flying ship, essentially. And it's like, this is, like, there's some mysterious stuff that's going on. Which, in the anime, they never explain. And they cut out, like, 70% of, like, a bunch of stuff from the light novels. When it comes to, like, world building and stuff. But it's still really good. And it starts building up the characters, give them backstory. Oh, this is where this person's from. This is what they've gone through. And all right, we're all doing this side activity that's going on. All right, cool. Then episode 6, that's when everything hits the fan. Like, they're like, oh, this is what's going on. This is what's going on here. Yeah, the Catholic Church, like, runs, like, half the world, by the way. Fun fact. This, that, and it goes ham.
Yeah.
And then it's uphill from there. There's and one of the things that you don't see in a lot of anime, unless it's like Gate or like things like as such, is political talk. And it's the politics of the world, not real life politics, but the politics of the world, which I guess you can reflect on the real world if you really wanted to connect the dots. But they go into like a political debate for like half an episode, and it's interesting. It's not boring. It's just straight up interesting. They're like, well, I can do this and, like, you know, use this to benefit something, blah, 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 blah. It's just really good. And how they portray the books with what they did outstanding. So if you want to pick up the light novels, they are translated, fan translated, online. You can find them. I forget where you can find them. You just look up the light novel translated, you'll pop up. It's like the first thing. But
Yeah.
I say go for it. If you like reading, that is some good read.
Okay.
That's good
yeah.
to know.
Yeah.
And it brings in like everything. If you like mechs, they got mechs. If you like sword fights, they got sword fights. You like gunfights, they got gunfights. You want some love in here, they got some love. They got this, that, the third. You want some cooking, we got some cooking. If you want some racial stereotypical Indian guy, we got that too.
Oh no.
No.
I want to look this guy up. His name's Hassan. And he's literally a Indian guy with a plate of curry over his head.
Oh.
Oh, Dios mío.
Oh my.
Let's see. Yeah, here we go. Oh boy. Yep. Here's our shot and star. Look at this. Copy, paste. Look at that. It's whenever it loads.
Oh no.
Oh no.
And then here's like a full thing of him. And then he runs around. His tagline. What do you think his tagline is?
Something relating to curry?
Yes, he goes, curry, curry, curry. That's like.
Oh no.
Oh boy, yeah, that's our boy Hassan there. But yeah. They got everything. They got everything in this anime. It's fantastic. Another one that we'll go on a more wholesome side and get away from that is Izakaya Nobu. Otherworldly Izakaya Nobu. I never heard of this. Everyone in my circles never talked about it. So to me, this is a hidden gem. Because when I got into the world of anime, no one was talking about this. They're all talking about Sword Art. They're talking about Log Horizon, which is fantastic. It's getting a season 3 right now. They're talking about like Gurren Lagann, which if you haven't seen that, I don't like mechs like that, but that's a good one, and it got me to watch it.
Gurren Lagann?
Yes, that.
Yeah.
Oh, so good. And they were talking about like Overlord, and all the stuff around that time. Izakaya Nobu is literally about an izakaya that when the owner and his like assistant, the first day they open, they're going out to open a door. We're in like 15th century Germany all of a sudden. What the heck? The front door goes there, the back door goes to Japan. Modern day Japan. So like, and it makes no sense because it shows in the manga. I don't remember if they do it in the anime, but the manga goes like way past the anime. So when you can walk in front of it, and it just looks like it just gets closed. But in reality, it's open, and the door goes to somewhere else.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's some Howl's Moving Castle.
Yes, exactly. And the thing is, it's super wholesome. There gets like a little like violence, and it's not even that. It's like, oh, you're disrespecting me because you think we're like, the big thing is ale is like banned. And then there was like this like duke that tried to like is like against Izakaya Nobu, and it's like this. It's like a huge plot point, but like that's like the most violent it gets. Besides that, it's literally just them sitting around, these people having the food for their first time, like, and they're just like sharing stories, talking about the world around them, and like it's wholesome and it's about food. And I was like, why has no one ever told me this? And and I found that after I found Restaurant to Another World.
Okay.
Which I've gone on multiple rants about, which I'll go on again, but before I do that, I didn't know Izakaya Nobu had a manga. Apparently they did they're doing manga releases. I didn't know that until like me and 12 were just randomly looking for like we were on podcasts talking about like Christmas stuff and like where to go shop, and all of a sudden I was like, Izakaya Nobu, when did this get a manga release? All right, let me buy all 7. There's an 8th volume coming out. I guess I'm invested now. So like, and
that's hefty.
Yeah, and they're not shorting on the quality of the manga either because they have like sleeves and stuff to the manga. So
oh wow,
yeah, like it's really high quality for the manga.
we pulled up some like covers and images and stuff. This does look really wholesome, like you're saying.
Yeah, it looks really cute.
And then the other one is it kind of starts off the same way. Is a restaurant to another world. Apparently, because I just went back and rewatched it. We were watching on stream the other morning because I got off work and I was like, I want some wholesome stuff in my life. Restaurant to another world. So we just sat there and watched it. The restaurant has been there's like an interdimensional portal or something. Some magic's been casted on the door, which they never explain how it happened. Maybe in the light novels, because I'm picking up the light novels, they'll explain it. But for generations, it's just been doing it. And it's been an izakaya feeding these people. And once every 7 days, this door will appear random places in this world. And people from all over will gather and just eat. And you find out about each character, where they come from, their backstory, what's going on in their part of the world. You follow like a treasure hunter, you follow like a famous swordsman, you follow a duke, you follow like a captain who got shipwrecked, and the only thing that kept him alive for 20 years was this restaurant. And it just goes into detail. And then the chef, he comes down one morning, he's like, I gotta make some breakfast, I'm hungry. And then it's just this girl sleeping on the floor. And apparently she's a demon, and demons they vary in like power and stuff. The only thing she got was the horns. She has the normal power and magic level of a regular girl, and people discriminate against her. They treat her like trash, they don't give her a job, anything like that. And then she's like thrown back. He's just like, all right, cool. Because her hat falls a couple times. He's like, I don't care, you're a demon. Here, have a seat. I don't care you ate my food, because it happens. Stuff happens. You're hungry, I understand. Let me cook you some breakfast. And as she's telling her story and stuff, she mentions she's an innkeeper. Well, Alita, I forgot how to pronounce the name. But she goes and tells her story, tells, Laeette, Alita? Or Altita? I don't know how to pronounce it. But he goes to her and says, so you were a waitress, and it worked at an inn, right? She's like, yeah. All right, how I pay you to work here once every 7 days when the door opens, and I pay you with, 10 silver coins, which is like a lot for like 1 day's work, apparently. Then I give you food 3 times for while you're here, and then you get to use the shower and stuff, and then I'll give you whatever you need. And then it literally shows her, like, as you go through the story too, it goes to her sometimes and shows her like trying to get better and like building her life up and stuff. And it's positive. It's full of like happiness and joy, and I love it.
That's great.
It like totally reminds me of D&D.
I can feel you on that, because it also shows races of lizard men. There follows this one like lion guy who fights in a coliseum, and he's one. So you know how the gladiatorial things work back in the day, right? If they win X amount of battles, they can leave. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this guy's like 10 times that one over, but he stays there because the door's there. So he's like, I'm gonna keep fighting because I got this good food.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
So, like, it follows, like, all these different beast people, and, like, elves, they follow fairies, they follow, like, everything. It's just, and the thing is, and, I think an old sage says, he's like, this is the only place you'll ever find where all these people can come together, and war, and hate, and everything else does not come into play.
Aw.
That's so wholesome.
Yes.
We need more of that.
Yes.
And so, with Izakaya Nobu, they are 10 to 15 minute episodes. The first 10 minutes is the anime. The last 5 it does like a real life skit. Half of them are like teaching people how to cook and do all that stuff, like make some of the meals they show, or they talk about different things that you've seen in the anime. It's like cuts to like the author of the book, which is hilarious to me. And that's like 24 episodes, but with like in reality it's like a 13 episoder because it's like 10 minutes apiece. Mm-hmm. And then Restaurant to Another World is 24 minutes, but it's only 12 or 13 episodes.
Okay.
Yeah,
I've been enjoying the shorter episode. Like, I can just consume it all in like a day if I really want to.
Yeah.
Yes, and I like that too, because if I ever feel like I'm a little bit down or something, I'll just go and watch it. Like Isekai no way. Like, I can watch like 7 episodes and be happy with life. Like, it's just great.
Well, if you want something that's not very wholesome, that I watched recently. See, but again, I don't know if this is a hidden gem. Have you heard of Banana Fish?
So that was one. A lot of people talked about when it came out, but then after like a couple episodes, not everyone talked about it. So it's kind of, if you're coming into anime, you probably won't hear about it. But I was around when it came out, and I heard it was good. It's one of them's like a gangster or something, if I remember correctly. I'm probably a little bit off.
It's actually set in America.
Yeah, see, like, I don't know much about it, but I know of its existence, and I heard a lot of people that don't like yaoi. It's more in the yaoi aspect. They're like, yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I felt like it honestly doesn't feel like it should be categorized as a yaoi, personally. Like, well, and I mean, I feel like yaoi has like kind of morphed into like boy love is what yaoi used to be, I guess, if that makes sense. Like yaoi is like straight up porn now.
Yeah. Like when you use that term, people assume that you're talking about
like
porn.
They put the peen in the booty. Like
Yes.
but like with boy love, and I really like, I would argue that this isn't, that Banana Fish isn't really boy love even. Like you could go either way. You could read into it either way. But that anime has a lot of stuff that will just, it'll just haunt you forever because it's very, very sad. But it's good. But I'll never watch it again.
That's fair.
Is it because of how dark it got?
It got very dark. I mean, it starts out dark. Like it is not for the faint of heart, and it's not for like if you have any kind of like sexual abuse triggers or anything like that, then it is definitely not the anime for you. Like, but it just like progressively layers on like the darkness and the awfulness, because it is about a gangster and like a bunch of gangsters, and like I think it's Manhattan. I don't remember for sure, and just like what he's dealt with in his life, and then the Japanese reporters come in, and that's where the people from Japan are part of the anime, and they're reporting on this kid, this like child gangster basically. I think he's like 16 or 17 or something like that, and that's why they're there, and they just get caught up in a bunch of stuff. And yeah, there's a lot of just heavy hitting moments in that show. Not wholesome. Not wholesome at all.
Lord, jeez. I'm trying to think, is there any other like hidden gems that I can think of? I mean, like, I don't know. Like, those are the ones that are like, they threw me off guard. No one ever talked about them. And then, like, they blew me out of the water.
Yeah.
I
don't think I certainly don't think I have any, because I tend to watch stuff that's more accessible, because I don't like to like sail the seas. As we were talking about. Like,
no, definitely.
I'm just, what do I have available to me with the services that I currently pay for?
Yeah. And
so that's kind of where I am. So it's more difficult to find like the hidden gems, I suppose.
Now, go ahead.
I don't have any more off the top of my head either.
So
what were you going to say?
I was going to ask, since we talked about the hidden gems of anime, what about Japanese cinema?
Oh gosh.
Oh boy.
I'll help you. You can only choose two.
Only choose two. Okay.
Wood Job.
Well, Wood Job. Definitely Wood Job.
Wood Job is one. Key of Life is good, but I don't know if I would pick it. I think Uchiten Hotel would be my.
Yeah,
that would
I think I would say Uchiten Hotel or Welcome Back, Mr. McDonald.
That's also really good.
But I mean, they're very, very similar from the same director and everything.
Yeah, But we could go on with movies. It's so much easier. I don't watch that much anime, but movies, I'm like as soon as you said cinema, I was like, oh yeah, I got this.
Anything by Naoko Ogigami.
Anything by Naoko Ogigami,
So,
absolutely.
But if we only have to,
But
pick
if
two,
it's only, God, Come On My Diner. How do I pick two? I would probably.
How
put-
about 3? Would that make it a little bit easier?
Okay, we'll say Come On My Diner, Wood Job, and Uchiten Hotel for me.
yeah,
What would yours be?
I would probably say Woodjob. Ooh, I don't know. Maybe Toilet. Not because I'm trying to be a contrarian, but I'll explain why. And then, yeah, probably Uchiten Hotel. Actually, over Welcome Back, Mr. McDonald.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, should we explain?
Yeah, go for it. Because I bet there's a bunch of people that are like,
are you familiar with any of these?
Toilet,
Mhm.
and I think that's it.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, you can explain.
So most of what we picked is comedy, which is something that's not very often brought over or translated because I think it's not brought over because there are extra barriers with comedy. Because comedy is so timing and context dependent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, it's so hard to translate comedy.
Exactly.
Exactly. Because Japanese, they lay on the puns.
Mhm.
Like it is like
Yeah.
because of the homophones. It's so easy to just have puns that are they just don't.
Mm-mm.
They don't exist in English. They
No.
just can't.
No.
It's
because
lost
certain
in
words-
translation.
Yeah,
Definitely.
it is 100% because certain words just don't, like in Japanese they sound the same and they mean completely different things, but in English they're just two completely different words that have no relation to each other, so
Exactly.
it doesn't make any sense.
Exactly. So Woodjob is definitely a comedy. It's like 2014 or 2016. It's by the same guy who directed Water Boys, among other things. He's like a in the English speaking world, he's like a kind of like a sleeper hit type of director. Like the people who know about him really like him, but he's not that often talked about.
Mm-hmm.
And Woodjob is about a kid who. Why is it? Oh, it's because there's a woman on a pamphlet.
Yeah,
He's like,
he doesn't know what he wants to do
Yes.
when he grows up, and he sees a very attractive young woman on a pamphlet for the forestry industry
Yes.
of Japan.
and he's like,
And so he's like, all right, sign me up. If there are hot ladies, then I'm here for it.
yeah. So he moves out into basically the middle of nowhere to a logging town where they have a program set up for like city kids and some adults who sign up for this service, and like they basically just pay for their like room and board for a year or whatever, where the logging town gets essentially free labor. Like they get help because it's like an industry that is in decline to an extent. And so it's about honestly, it's kind of a slice of life movie.
Yeah, it kind of is.
Where it's about this kid moving to this town, being like, "Oh, this is gonna be great because I'm gonna meet women. It's gonna be awesome," and then dealing with the realities of what working in the logging industry is like. It's really, really wholesome, though.
So
it's funny.
There is an anime that is almost exactly like this.
Really?
It's called Silver Spoon. Have you ever heard of it?
I haven't.
I have not.
Okay, so it basically follows this guy. When he's going from middle school to high school, I think it is. I think it's that or something like that. He doesn't know what he wants to do. His dad pressures him to do something. Blah 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 blah. He's like, I want to get away, so I'm going to go to this farming high school that focuses on agriculture and all this stuff. But he doesn't know anything about it. So he goes off to this school and he learns about agriculture, how to farm, how to like garden, how to raise and kill animals, how to do this, how to do that. And it shows him because he also goes and helps these different families like raise crops or like go work on a farm and do this and that. But it takes a city kid out of water and puts him in this environment, which is hilarious because he's learning as he goes. Yeah, I'm book smart, but I'm not common sense. Well, in this case, common sense, air quote, smart when it comes to all this stuff. and then like it's a comedy and a slice of life, and it shows you like with the how like farming in Japan works, and like how like and one of the big things that I didn't realize until I watched it, how rare actual cheese is over there. Like it's super hard to get, and then like
dairy in general.
Yeah, dairy. Yeah, it's just it's like one of those things that make you realize. And they talk about hardship, like people losing their farms to debt and like having to sell it off and stuff like that. It's so it's like, yeah,
that honestly that does sound really similar.
It does. It's and it also sounds like it would be something I would enjoy.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah. That follows up that out. Sorry, that's what that just reminded me of when you were talking about it.
No,
it's
like,
good.
No, it's
there's
good.
Something that, yeah.
Like I said, I was like, when you were like hidden gems of anime, and I was like,
Yeah, that's why I brought it up. I was like, this should help you guys, because you guys, I don't know anything about Japanese cinema. Like I've watched a couple things, but that's it.
We got you.
And like I learned my things through you guys, so I figured, you know. You guys might have a couple that, you know, you might have done a video on or you haven't, but you're like, I want people to watch this.
Yeah. I can describe the other ones too if you want.
Yeah, go for it.
So
well, do you want to swap off?
Yeah, sure.
Or,
yeah.
Well, you had different ones, so.
No, we can trade off. You can talk about Kumame Diner.
Well, Uchitano Hotel, I'll explain that.
Okay, yeah.
Is basically a movie that is shot over the course of like the same amount of time that the movie takes is the same amount of time it takes to watch the movie. So like an hour in the movie is an hour of time that you watch the movie.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and it's leading up to New Year's Eve at a hotel, a like grand hotel in Japan, and it just follows a bunch of different people. Like
probably 1 or 2 dozen.
Yeah, it is a huge cast, and it's just like all these different events that are going on leading up to the New Year's Eve celebration. And there's a duck that's loose in the hotel, and there's a like stripper / prostitute who keeps trying to sneak into the hotel. The main character that you're following around, his ex-wife is there. With her now husband, but he doesn't know that her now husband is like the guy that he ends up impersonating to impress his ex-wife. So yeah, it's
and the new husband has a history with
the prostitute. Like everybody's all it's like Clue. Like everybody's all connected to each other
in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah. It's like shenanigans is the best word I can think.
Yeah.
It's what is the word? It's a screwball comedy.
Yeah, it's a screwball comedy. Yeah.
Okay.
It's very fun. It's very, very fun. We've watched it a couple of times because I just enjoy it so much.
It's good. It's good. That one is. I don't think that one's officially gotten any sort of release in the US. There are English subtitles for it if you get a Japanese copy. But I do not think that there's like an official American release of it, unfortunately.
Last I checked, Woodjob is on Amazon Prime.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
I think. Let me check really quick. It might not be anymore.
Oh no, they took Woodjob.
No,
they take all the good stuff away. They always do.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it might just be the Blu-ray now.
That's unfortunate.
But maybe it's streaming somewhere else.
Should I go to the next one?
Yeah, that's fine.
What did I say? Toilet. So we actually just did our first profile on our channel about the director Naoko Okigami, who she has been working since like the early 2000s. She gets virtually no recognition in the English-speaking world, that's starting to change. Like her last movie in 2017 got a bit of press, but still no like official releases. Like all of the DVDs that we own from her are Japanese DVDs that either have English subtitles on them or are fan subbed. But Toilet, the reason I would recommend Toilet is because it was one of the films that she did not in Japan. This one is actually set in Canada. And so the entire thing is in English, so it's super accessible. And it's about this group of what would you call that? I guess second generation Japanese, third generation, because I think one of their parents was Japanese, or one of their parents was half Japanese.
So
Point is,
that'd be third generation then, right?
yeah.
They
So-
they really have no connection to Japan.
That's the
So
that's
yeah,
the
that'd be
point.
like third, fourth generation, something like that.
Yeah.
Because their last surviving parent passes away at the beginning of the movie, and so they're left with their Japanese grandmother in Canada. So there's these 3 adult children who only speak English, basically no connection to Japan, and then they have their grandmother who doesn't speak English, has basically no connection to Canada, and only speaks Japanese. And it's about the dynamic of these 4 people basically just living together.
Mm-hmm.
And it's super wholesome. It's definitely feelsy.
Mm-hmm.
Like pretty much all of her movies are. And like I said, I would pick that one if anybody's trying to approach her filmography from the start, probably, because it doesn't require any subtitles or anything like that.
I think that's a fair point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you had said
I said Komomi Diner, which is also by Naoko Gigomi. That one is based in Finland. I was gonna say Sweden. I was like, it's not Sweden.
they're neighbors.
Yeah, they're really close. In Finland, it's a Japanese woman who moves to Finland, opens up a diner, seagull diner. Kamome means seagull. And basically wants it to be like actual Japanese food, not a place that you go to like get Japan. Like you don't go there just to get sushi or something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
You go to get authentic Japanese food, and she wants to feed people who don't have access to it real Japanese food. And then through happenstance stumbles across 2 other Japanese women, and basically just how they learn to connect with the people living in that town. And it talks a lot, not without talking about it, it talks a lot about like communication and like universal languages and things like that. And it again is another wholesome movie.
Yeah,
like
very
feels good.
Yeah.
What else did we say? Was that all of them?
I think that was it.
Oh yeah, because we both said that Ichisen Hotel and
Ichisen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there are so many more.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we could go on.
I hate to limit you guys, but I mean,
No.
Because me personally, I could sit here and listen to you guys talking for like hours, because like it's interesting. Because I like seeing other films. It's just we don't get them here, so it's like I can't really, unless I had a direct connection like you guys, which I'm not that lucky. But but yeah. So yeah, I appreciate the recommendations. I hope everyone who listens appreciates your recommendations, and I appreciate the anime recommendations because it gives me something to look into as well.
Hey, yeah, I appreciate your anime recommendations too, because especially what was the Silver Spoon.
Oh yeah, Silver Spoon
and Horizons in the Middle of Nowhere. Like,
yes,
I definitely want to check out both of these now.
Yeah, no, this was a conversation because I feel like there is so much in the anime world that I just do not understand or know, or like I have like only touched the surface of anime.
And all these are on Crunchyroll.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
easy.
I think Silver Spoon's still on there. I haven't watched it in a while, which now I have a sudden urge to watch it. But let's see here. Yep,
It
still
looks
on
like
there.
it is. Yeah, it's on there. I have it pulled up.
And that's like 22 episodes.
Okay, yeah.
Then yeah, Izakai Nobu's on there 24. Restaurant to Another World's on there is like 12 or 13. And then Horizon, they have both seasons on there, and they're like 11 or 12 apiece.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like I said, I've really been enjoying these like 26 or fewer episode, like no matter how many seasons it is, like anime, because it's so much more accessible. Like people who like talk about One Piece, and I'm just like, yeah, but no,
That's a lot.
That's a huge commitment. Like I don't have the energy for that.
Oh, trust me, it's a lot. It took me from when they were at 700 something, and I watched from 1 to like that current time, and it took me about 8 months with working full time. So like, yeah, that's a lot, and that's me literally coming home, sitting down, watching it, pause, go to use the bathroom, get food, take a shower, then go back and just keep watching.
Yeah.
That's
a lot.
when we were watching Naruto, I was telling Eli, like, there's just so much filler, like just reused animation.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
If somebody like took, not I use Naruto as an example because I've actually watched a good portion of it. If somebody would take that show and just give me the story, no repeat anything, I might sit down and watch it and actually like watch it, as opposed to just feeling like, oh, this is a slog.
And while we're all talking about filler, Bleach. I don't know if you guys ever watched Bleach.
I've not. We know someone who has experienced the entire thing, I think, twice.
Yes.
And definitely heard about it.
I think 60 to 70 is filler. 60-70%. There is a website that tells you how much filler is in an anime.
Oh, yeah?
Twitch. Yeah, let me look this up real quick here. Anime filler list, I think is that what it is? Yeah, anime filler list. So it's going to have like the huge ones. So Bleach. Yeah, Bleach right here. Where is the stat? Where's the percentage? There's usually a percentage. It doesn't. 45. My bad. 45% of Bleach is filler.
That's still a lot.
That's still too much.
Does this include the OG Naruto, not like Shippuden? Is 41% filler.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Shippuden's 41% filler.
Oh, geez.
Now, would you like to take a guess on how much One Piece is?
I guess it's probably more than 60%.
I'm saying 69.
Ha for the memes, but no, it's 10% filler.
Oh, whoa.
That's impressive.
With 960, well, it's more than that, but this is a 961. And the filler ones are like super obvious. Like they're like holiday episodes or like spin-off episodes that like aren't really important. But they stick to the manga like it's the actual script.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
That honestly explains why like the people who I know who like One Piece, like they stan One Piece. Like it's beloved.
And then like even the filler episodes, some of them are like half filler, but when it gets to them, it's kind of like it's world building on like some stuff. So like it gives background to like one of the earliest times you come into filler is like episode 54-ish, and it's like, all right, we're showing you how like how this thing works in this world. So like there is a thing called the calm belt where no ship can sail due to how like the currents and there's no wind or anything. So unless you have paddles and like some other stuff, you'll be attacked by like sea monsters and stuff. So like it gives you a showcase of like this is what happens here. Or they'll show off a new power for like Zoro or someone in the main cast that they'll use later on. So like even though it's a filler, there's still some canon stuff in it.
That makes sense. Yeah, that's admirable, I would say.
Yeah. Well, honestly, like that's hearing that, I'm like, that makes me more inclined to watch it. You know, because like that's what killed it for me while we were watching Naruto. I was just finally like, I'm done. Like I can't handle this anymore. Like I feel like I'm wasting time, and I hate feeling that way.
Yeah, because what is it?
I respect it.
What was it? There was one arc where it was like, well, they were like animals or something, and they were like, I remember vaguely. It was like they were animals or something, and they were.
We didn't even get that far.
Naruto?
Is that the OG Naruto they had? Oh my god! So from episodes, I just happened to look from episode 143 all the way to 219 is filler.
I want to say 150 or so is about where we stopped.
I think it was around there.
I think it was around there.
Yeah, that whole arc is just filler. And then even the departure, like the next episode, it's mixed filler and canon.
Ugh.
Good lord.
And there's just a bunch of episodes that are like mixed filler, mixed. Yeah, so that's why I like One Piece, because it's pretty straightforward and everything is pretty much like the manga. They might like mix it, like a couple of it might be a little bit filler, but like most of it just says manga canon.
Mm-hmm.
And then some says anime canon, which, you know, is still canon-ish, but like most of it for One Piece is just manga canon. So like it sticks straight to the manga, which is fantastic.
Cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, is there any other like big ones that you might know? Well, they don't really have a lot on here. I'm just looking at that. They don't have a lot on here. These are like the super like popular ones that they got on here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a couple that like they're smaller. Like Konosuba has no filler, which is fantastic. I'm curious, Pokemon, what's your filler? 21%.
That's less than I would have expected.
Honestly, I'm like, I don't even like remember filler in Pokemon. Like,
Oh, that's all of Pokemon. That is like all of Pokemon. That's not. That's impressive.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking there probably wasn't a lot in the original show.
Yeah.
Because it was so episodic.
Yeah,
was,
manga canon,
yeah.
manga canon, manga canon, anime canon, manga canon. Yeah, that's pretty much. And there was a bunch of times where it's like canon filler, canon filler, canon filler, canon filler. It like skipped around. And...
What about Yu-Gi-Oh though?
Oh no, which one? There's like 50 Yu-Gi-Ohs.
I guess
The original. Because the original's the longest.
Yeah, OG. Where is it?
The original's like a quarter.
30%. Oh wait, hold on. That's not. That ain't right. Oh, that's a. that's the one where he killed people. Hold on. Where is it? Is it Capsule Monsters? No, that's not it. Where's the?
It's maybe just Duel Monsters?
Yes, that's the one. 40%.
Okay, that sounds about right.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say, wait, oh, that's the one that's where Yami kills people, actually.
Oh, the original one. Yeah.
The OG one. Yeah. And most of that's like mixed filler canon, so like it should have been more personally, but yeah. So let's see here. That's that. Is there any Zatch Bell? Ooh, what about that? 19% is Zatch Bell. Well, that's not that bad. I'm trying to think. Is there any other big ones that you might know? No. Sailor Moon. Oh, how about this? Hold on. What's Sailor Moon? 50%.
Oh my.
Oh my god.
That's a significant amount.
Yeah.
But yeah. So guys, yeah, we learned some canons and some false statistics of filler and stuff like that. So we got this going for us.
We definitely learned that One Piece is like, if you're gonna pick the long anime to watch, it sounds like it's One Piece.
It does sound like that.
So they have Digimon on here. You want to take a guess at Digimon percentage?
I never watched Digimon. So
I didn't either. I don't have a good idea of it.
Mm-mm.
There was one episode out of 54 of the original series that was filler. So that makes it 2%.
Yeah. That's respectable.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Everything else is manga canon. What about... Yeah, and then the rest of it sticks like no filler, 2%, no filler.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like the redo of... They're redoing Digimon.
I had heard that.
Yeah, they finished it up, I think, question mark, and November of last year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so if you guys want to get it, it's even more accessible now.
Yeah.
I've heard it's great. I have one friend who said that we should watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever watch Bobobo by chance?
No, I'm familiar with it, but I never watched it.
Yeah, that has zero filler, so that makes me...
It's the perfect show.
Yeah, it's the perfect show. But we'll continue about that next time.
Yeah.
So, do you guys have any parting words? Do you want to plug anything? Is there anything you want to, like, force onto the people?
I don't know. I didn't have anything planned.
I would say watch more Japanese cinema. If you like
Yeah.
Japanese anime, watch more Japanese cinema. Like
Yeah.
it's so good, and there's a ton of it on like a lot of the common streaming platforms,
Surprisingly,
like
yeah.
Netflix and Amazon Prime and Hulu. Like
Mhm.
just find a genre that you like and start watching it, because it's really awesome.
Mhm.
Like there's so much, and like Japanese cinema is different in a lot of ways, I find, than Hollywood cinema, and that's why I like it so much. Just the way stories are written, the way the plots pan out, even endings are just it's just a different world, in my opinion, of filmmaking, and I like it more than Hollywood filmmaking personally.
Yeah,
And I wish more people would partake in what's available.
I would agree. I would agree with that. Yeah. I'm just gonna hop on what you said and say yes.
Yes. So make sure you go check out these wonderful people, Kylie and Eli, over at Cinema Nippon. They do a lot of things. The most recent anime thing was Lupin the Third, the first. They just got this amazing thing. So make sure you go check that out. And they also just started, like they said, they started doing some interviews with the people in the in the industry. So make sure you check that out. Support them. Show them your love. Tag Joe Schmo all over. Let the graffiti run wild. And we'll go from there. So thank you guys again for being here. I do appreciate talking to you guys. I love talking to you every time.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
It was really, and I learned a lot about anime, and
Seriously.
I'm very excited.
But I think
That's
both
why
of
I'm
us
here.
expanded our watch lists.
Good.
Yeah, I believe so.
So until next time, guys, stay happy, stay healthy, and I will see you guys later.
All right, see ya.